Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time we're going to be taking a look through another batch of vintage Penguin main series paperbacks. So sit back, relax, and let's take a look. Okay then, so we're starting with this one, which is number 753. So this is D.H. Lawrence's Selected Essays. Now this one dates from let's have a little look here, 1950. And this is exactly where we left off last time round, which was, amazingly, a couple of months ago now. So it was about 8 weeks since we did any Penguin main series books. So we're a bit overdue. So let's just see there's some writing on the inside here. So we shall, that's an awkward spot. We shall make hay. I mean, I've got so many Penguin and Pan to get through that, you know, in all honesty, I should be doing a Penguin or Pan video every other week, but I like to sort of, you know, mix it up a little bit if I can, and I don't want you to get too bored with the same books. God, it's such a tricky spot to get into this. Yeah, so consequently I'm trying to mix up the videos, but I didn't realise it had been a good 2 months since I'd last done a Pan video, or even Penguin, so we're making up for that right now, and the rest of it's okay. So what we're going to do, because these aren't going to need polishing, I shall go through them, and once we get a wedge I'll give them any repair work done, and then I'll give them a brush as we go along. Now I noticed that one has got a little bit at the bottom of the spine there that needs re-gluing, so we'll do that now as well. So this particular batch of D.H. Lawrence's were part of a series of 10. So we saw that were released, published at the same time. We saw some of them at the end of the last Penguin main series video, and obviously this is the rest of them now. You may have spotted my cut there. I was walking my daughter's dog today. It's a little puppy, and he jumped up trying to bite his lead and bit my hand instead, and his little teeth are like razors at the moment, so consequently I've got my wound there, which I'm sure will be healed up, but just in case you were wondering how I did it, that's how walking, not even my dog, walking the daughter's dog. Right then, here's another D.H. Lawrence here. Little remnants of like a pound or something in the corner there, just a little bit. He's one of those authors who I know he's really good, and I know he's a great writer. It's just I've never personally been able to get into him, not even Lady Chatterley. It didn't appeal to me at all, unfortunately. Aaron's Rod. But I know he certainly has his fans, and I believe, well, that's going to need some glue. I believe Alan Lane himself possibly published D.H. Lawrence at the Bodley Head many years before he started Penguin. I'm pretty sure they published some, as I recall. Now we're going to need a bit of glue down the old trench there, up where the cover connects, but it should be fairly easy to apply. So I've had some really, really nice comments on my videos lately, and a few people worried that I'm just going to knock it on the head. And, you know, a couple of months back, I thought I just haven't really got the time. And financially, it doesn't really exactly pay, because I'm just not getting the views that I need for it to warrant the time that I devote to it. However, the thing is, with cleaning my book collection, this is something that I want to do anyway. So I might as well share it on here. It's not that much of an extra effort to set up the equipment, because I've got my dedicated studio here, and I know some people really do like to see bits of the collection that haven't actually been featured on my main channel, because for whatever reason, you know, I just not got round to it, or they're part collections, they're like works in progress. So because of that, you know, rest assured this channel will carry on at least until I've finished cleaning all my books, and then I'll just do the cleaning videos on my main channel going forward. But for now, there's so much backlog that needs going through the process. I reckon I've got, if I do a video a week, I reckon I've got at least another 50. So that's another year's worth of book related content on this channel. So rest assured, nothing to worry about just yet. It may just be that occasionally I might need to miss the odd week, and I have done that just once since the channel started. It was touch and go if I was going to have time to get one up this week, but I've just about managed it, so that is good news. It's got some pencil on the cover of this one. I said he was very, very popular at one point, and Penguin made him a popular author. And nowadays, of course, he's regarded as a classic, classic author. But as I said, I never got into him. So maybe someone could suggest, if I don't like Lady Chatterley, what might you suggest I try for D.H. Lawrence that I might like? Because I'm willing to give him another try. Oh, a lovely one, that, actually. White Peacock, one of those big sort of double volumes there with the two penguins on. Got some foxing on this bad boy. Apart from that, he's okay. Turned back corner. How dare they, we say. Let's move them over there and start a fresh pile. A crime one at last. Margery Allingham, Mystery Mile. And I haven't seen any, obviously, that I wanted to upgrade yet, because, sometimes, I mean, that's a bit borderline, but it will do. Sometimes I see ones which I think that's just too low grade. When I go into the editing stage, I make a note of it and I put it on my upgrade list. And sometimes I've done like a visual one, but it's always nice to go through at this sort of level of detail and see if I need to upgrade or not. And so far, we haven't needed it to. I haven't found any that I've needed to be upgraded. That one was borderline there. But yeah, going back to the comments, there's been lots and lots of really, really nice ones, so thank you for that. They are appreciated. I try and reply to them all. Maybe because this isn't my main channel, I don't reply straight away. Sometimes it takes a few days for me to check all the comments, because I get so many coming in on my other channel. I have to keep on top of that multiple times a day. Just to put it in perspective, this channel at the moment receives about 4,000 to 5,000 views a month, which is not a great deal. My main channel receives about 140,000 views a month. So there's a massive world of difference and between the two, and this is very much a hobby, but still good, and I'm really glad that I've got sort of the loyal sort of subscribers that I have, so I'm very, very grateful for that. And as I said at the start, this is something which I would be doing anyway, so the fact that I'm doing it and sharing it with you, and hopefully you're learning about books and maybe picking up a few tips to clean your own collection at the same time, is hopefully just a bonus. Well, there we are. But that had a bit of a weak spine at the top and the bottom there. Once again, borderline. Obviously if a better one came along, I would grab it, but for now I'm going to be okay with that. I'm not going to say that needs to be on my upgrade list, because it really doesn't. This one seems quite nice. 4 English comedies. Yeah, that's a nice copy of that one. Then a crime one again, John Ferguson, Death Comes to Perigord. The London Book Company Rawalpindi, which sounds like it's from India. Anybody know about that? Where that is? But that's where this one harks from. That's where the bookseller was, where it was originally sold. A tiny bit at the top of the spine there, which could be glued back down. So all these books that we're looking at here are 73 years old. Amazing, eh? Absolutely amazing, really, when you think about it. Okay. Innocence of Father Brown. This one looks pretty tidy. Pencil marks. A lot. You can see that these have never been gone through because there's lots of pencil marks to take out. That was a little 1 and 6, and then that's 750M. So that probably means the inventory in the bookshop was popped in July 1950. I don't know what the M means. Maybe where they merchandised it or something like that. But lots of shops would do that historically so that the books would be supplied to booksellers on a sale or return basis. And in fact, Penguin were one of the most generous to do that. Even when I was in bookselling in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, you'd never have a problem returning a Penguin book ever, if for some reason it didn't sell. And I think that's probably what that relates to. The old SOR, Sale or Return. That's what it was called in the book game. Elizabeth and Essex. £1. So, what is going on down here? Look at that, the corner is it's almost detached, so we'll leave it flat in the hope that it doesn't get any worse. Be careful with that one. So let's put that pile up there. I think the time has come to give them a bit of a brushing, so I'm going to move the camera back a bit. There we are, hopefully that's a little bit clearer now. And we'll just pop these into small handfuls and I'll give them the brush off. Imagine they're going to be quite dusty, some of these, because as we've seen, they've never been through the process. Lovely. Lovely. Some worse than others, as is the usual with these sorts of things. Now over on my other channel, just yesterday, there's the end of the book, just yesterday I did a video which was a 3-hour shunting session. So do check that one out because it might be exactly what you're looking for. just showing you how I move my books around when I get new editions. There we are. Right, so that is almost pile number 1. The first little wedge we'll look at today. I brought a whole box load down, as is my usual, so we've got loads more to get through yet. We're not even halfway. So it's got a very faint 1 and 3. Sweet Danger. That's lovely. The Crime at Black Dudley. Feel little anomalies, little bits of dust and dirt that's stuck to the covers over the years. Most of the time they do just fall off. I think a little slither of glue on the inner spine there is not going to hurt one little bit on this one. So it's just coming away there. Nothing too serious, but this is a bit of preventative repair, as it were. Just a little bit of extra glue down where it's coming away towards the top here. Squeeze that in like that. Just means it'll stay together a bit better. The Fashion in Shrouds. Now I wonder, that looks like it's in pen. Unfortunately, there's a name on the front. Yeah, it's like in faded fountain pen ink, unfortunately. So we're not going to be able to get that one out. Whatever this is at the top, we should be able to get out there. Not quite sure what that was. Let's come out. Okay, so a slightly ropey copy, but it's borderline, but I'm not going to bother adding it to the upgrade list. Traitor's Purse. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. It's a nice copy of that one. Look to the Lady. Yep, slightly loose covers, so we'll re-glue the back. Front's alright, so it's coming away at the back on this one. So we'll just pop some glue around there to keep this one from getting any worse. Try and put a little bit extra on the end, because that's potentially where it might catch the top of the spine bit. So put an extra blob there, and the rest of it I'm just smearing down the inner spine here. Enough. I suspect this may have been glued once before, re-glued. Possibly not by me, but by maybe a previous owner. There we are, I think that's okay. The Times 4th crossword puzzle book. So I tend to leave these, even if, like this one's had a few puzzles attempted. Don't tend to let that bother me, because that's what they were designed for. I'm not looking for perfection with the crossword books, I just want copies of them really. And it doesn't bother me if they've been done or not, like that one. So it's all good. The Oxbow Incident, a classic of the vanished Wild West. Okay. With a few little marks in, so 5/9/79, 5th of September 79 was, I reckon, when someone read it. Then there's a 1 and 6, which would have been perhaps a bookshop or a second-hand bookshop price. And then there's a 10/50, which is probably when it first went into a bookshop, October 1950. That's what all those little markings meant, in my experience. Rumour Garden. Oh, 8p. They were the days, eh? I do remember going to a boot sale once, admittedly 30 years ago, and there was a table full of penguins and they were 5 pence each, so it was 20 for £1. I did fill a few bags up. Okay, so Famous Trials of Marshall Hall. It's got a period review. Actually, it's a review for the Penguin edition from £4.99. It's not a period one, but we'll keep it in there because it does relate to the book, you see, so that's always a good thing. A little bit of pencil markings inside there. Lovely. Heads You Lose, Christina Brand. Yeah, not a great copy, that one. I think because of the mark in there, I think I will put that on my upgrade list. Spine's a bit damaged as well. So 779, Heads You Lose, Christina Brand. Upgrade required. Unlike this one, which seems very, very nice. Nice and tight. Tiny bit at the top there. Apart from that, that's a rather nice one. Previous owner's name. Which we can live with. And let's get a tiny bit of glue in there. Just enough to smear it in, and then we'll smear out the excess. Like so. Perfect. Get it off my hands. It's just to stop it catching again. That's sort of the reason for doing this on something like that. Monica Dickens. This has got a tan going down there, so you can sort of see where another book would have been laid on it like that. And then when you take it off, it's left the shadow. You see it now and again. Apart from that, it's a lovely copy. The Ginger Griffin. That's fine. So I think what we'll do, let's give these all a brush. Yeah, it may not end up being too long a video today. Depends on how much work the other books need, but that's not a bad thing because I was a little bit pressed for time to film this week. So an entire day going to the Shepton Mallet Toy Fair has been written off with Sunday, and I'm amazingly going to try and drive up, film the video, come back, edit the video, record the commentary, put the commentary into the video, and then upload it that very day. So a bit of a tall order. I may not be able to do it, but I'm banking on doing it, which has meant that it's been all systems go. And because the shunting video that I filmed was quite a long one, it was 3 hours long, it took a lot of my filming time over the recent bank holidays in Britain. So I'm not behind, but I'm, shall we say, struggling a little bit to stay on target, as they said in Star Wars. This green one here, this is the one that we said I was going to replace. I am going to pop a tiny bit of glue on there because it may be, you know, a year or two before I find another copy. So I want it looking as good as possible on the shelf. So I'm just going to pop a new blob of glue on there, just to keep it as nice as possible. Okay, right, let's crack on. I reckon we're just a touch over halfway now. Miss Hargreaves. These are all okay, aren't they? Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, I knew I had a really nice one of those. Tortilla Flag. A few classics here we're seeing, aren't we? This is the Penguin List in all its glory. Now this might be a bit miscut. Let's see. Is it miscut or just misfolded? Thankfully, an easy fix. The pages were just folded back, so that will sort itself out over time. The spine's coming away a bit, and there's writing inside. So 1950. Well, we knew it was 1950. 80p. Okay, 80p. First Penguin. Well, if you're seeing it here, of course it's a First Penguin. However, we need to get some glue in there. It's really, yeah, I thought that was the best plan with that one. It had virtually detached itself. In fact, now it has. So what we can do is actually put the glue on directly, which will make this an easier job. It's quite a thin book, so I don't want to get too much on there, but I will apply it directly to the spine where the glue is just dried out. Chances are this has been stored historically in an in a hot environment. It caused the glue to age, go solid, and the book has become detached. That's probably what's happened to this one. But apart from that, it's a nice copy of an absolute classic book, so definitely worth repairing, you know. Wouldn't dream of just chucking it because the cover's detached, but they would in certain circumstances. So in charity shops and that, a book that came in that state, they wouldn't bother repairing it. It would be in the bin, and that's a crying shame. But that's also what's happening with classic vintage paperbacks more and more. The charity shops don't think there's much of a market for them, so they just bin them, which is a shame. But it's okay because we're saving them, aren't we? And I'm sure if you're like me, when you're out and about, if you come across a rare or an old paperback, do us all a favour and save it from the bin. either add it to your own library or pass it on to another collector, because there are collectors out there who want this sort of stuff. It's a nice one. 789, Joseph Conrad. Just going to check to see if we're into 1951 yet. No, still 1950. Penguin were really marching at this time, weren't they? They really, really were. Main Street, another nice big thick one. Of course, these doubles would have come in wrappers, I think. So so mine don't have wrappers. Yeah, the vaguest hint of a name in there. But I think you can safely say we've certainly tarted these up to a much better level than they were before we began. Gilbert and Sullivan. It's okay. It's got a 1 shilling in there, but it's in pens, so can't do anything about that. Mystery of a Butcher's Shop, Gladys Mitchell. Let's get that off the back cover. That's come off rather nicely. That's okay. Mystery Villa. Oh, a little bit of the bottom of the spine coming away. Slightly borderline copy. Borderline, but okay, I think is my summary there. We'll give these a brush now. Lovely. Right, that's a little wedge here. The Ghost It Was. Rather blatant 50p there. Death and Pleasant Voices. It's a nice one. First of this one, Clocker Mill, and then it did get re-released with this illustrated jacket here by under the artistic direction of Abraham Games. This is when they released a handful with these illustrated covers. I was just looking to see, yeah, and that actual cover illustration was by Abraham Games himself. That's the chap who designed the Festival of Britain logo, amongst other things. It's a really nice sort of series to collect that. Here's one of those double volumes, which actually is in its wrapper. So I think most of the double volumes did come with wrappers, but they're hard to find in that condition. But nice when you do come across them. So compare that loveliness to this bit of an old dog here. In comparison, is this going to go? It's just very, very well read. Yeah, I think we'll pop this one on the upgrade list as well. So $7.99, The Garden Party, Katherine Mansfield. Put that over there a moment. How green was my valley? Another one which is not in the greatest of shape. It's sort of borderline. A good brush on the top is going to help. Mary Lavelle. Nice Kate O'Brien. Up there. The Good Soldier's Wake. This is the second Penguin edition because they published this earlier on. I think as a Penguin special. That needs a bit of glue down there. Yeah, so first published as a Penguin special in 1939. The complete version, which is what this one is, published in 1951. So we did, in the end, go on a year. Hooray. But we do need also to get some glue in there. So it's special attention to the top of the edge, and then the rest of it just going to slide in. There we are. I think that should do the trick. And some crime ones to finish off. That's okay. Another Christina Brand. These tail end ones haven't had so many bits of writing in, have they? Which is interesting. Oh, another Sherlock Holmes. So this should be very, very nice condition with a bit of luck. Yeah, not too bad. It's got a bit of Tipex in there, which is a shame. But apart from that, it's a really nice copy. Then the last one we got is Murder Down Under 806, Arthur Upfield. Spotted a turned over corner there. Okay, so that's good. So we need to give these a brush down now. Ugh. So some of these are actually quite bad. Other ones are hardly need a brush at all, do they? But we'll give them all the treatment, so none of them feel left out. But yeah, some, like that one, definitely worse than some of the other ones, so that's just the way it goes. There we are. These big three quite thick books. So I hope you've enjoyed this little slightly shorter than usual cleaning video, but I thought even though these don't actually take quite as long to actually film, and clean the books in question. You can see that we had quite a bit to do with these, didn't we? And they very much benefited from having the clean, which is what it's all about ultimately, isn't it? Now, next week we'll probably do another large format books video, because I'm really enjoying going through those, and the space it's making in the office, not just the space but just them looking good since I've been rearranging in there, is making a huge difference. So chances are it'll be a large format video next week, and after that I'll try and do the next batch of vintage Pan paperbacks, for which it's been about 6 or 7 weeks since we've had chance to do any of those. As always, thank you for my channel supporters and Patreon members. If you have enjoyed today's video, do please give it the thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button if you've not already, for weekly vintage book cleaning content. And I shall look forward to seeing you again next week with another video. Bye.